Joining me now, Fox News contributor Richard Fowler and campusreform.org's editor-in-chief Lawrence Jones. Thank you both for being here. Lawrence, let me begin with you. What's going to be the fallout from this incredibly contentious confirmation process that we just witnessed with Brett Kavanaugh? I think it seems to me that both sides, Democrats and Republicans, say their base are fired up over it. What's your take?
Well, I think that's fair to say that both bases are fired up. But the problem is that Democrats had positioned themselves to win a little bit of seats because Republicans were going to stay at home. They just were. There wasn't anything to fire them up. They were complacent because they had gotten the president that they wanted to into office. He was passing much of the legislation that they advocated for. But there was nothing to rally them. But we know one thing is true. If you really want to get conservatives and Republicans to go out and vote, start attacking the Supreme Court. And because the Democrats were so political and quite frankly wanted to deny due process, they angered a lot of people. And so I think now the Democrats won't be able to win as much seats as they predicted.
Richard, let me pick up on that. What Lawrence is talking about, it got downright ugly. A lot of people questioning where was the due process? How can there be this kind of character assassination without all the facts being laid out? What's your response to that?
There's no question there was blood on both sides when it comes to this nomination. It was politics to be played on both the Democratic and the Republican side. And now we are just 30 days away from this midterm election. And I do believe that the momentum seems to be on the Democratic side. And here's why. The polls say it. Just this weekend, the Texas Senate race, which is the Ted Cruz versus Beto O'Rourke, went from lean Republican to too close to call. This is Texas, as red could be, and it's very likely that Beto will pick that up. We also have another race where Democrats have a good chance of picking that up with the Taylor Swift endorsement that happened this weekend as well, which is the Tennessee race, Marsha Blackburn versus Governor Breslin. And so I think that there's a good chance that Democrats will win the House, and now it's going to be whether or not Democrats can pick up enough seats to close their margins in the United States Senate.
Yeah, but Richard, just to follow up quickly, this whole thing could backfire on the Democrats because of the way they behaved. It was just, frankly, outrageous, a character assassination, but it was the violence, the mob mentality. That indeed could get more Republicans out that wouldn't have voted in the first place.
I reject the notion of a mob mentality. I think what you saw take place all across this country was people being very angry about how this process took place, and they used their First Amendment right to protest peacefully.
I don't know. I don't know if it was peaceful. If you've seen some of the video that's come out, certainly at the Supreme Court.
Actually, the problem is that this mob that we're talking about is, if a lot of Americans don't understand this, but I've been covering it at the Leadership Institute's campus reform for a while. It started out at the college campuses where these people that had no legal experience, they didn't want things to go through the legal process, to go through the local campus police and then go through a court of law. But just because they felt like you were guilty, that you should be guilty. We saw it in University of Virginia. We saw it at the Duke lacrosse case. This is a common theme, this mob that is now on Capitol Hill, where you think these people think that you can just destroy people's careers without presenting evidence. The fact of the matter is, guess what? Dr. Ford was incredible, and that's based on the evidence that provided. There was a lot of inconsistencies and a lot of these allegations and a lot of the witnesses that came. And we should be able to talk about that.
Let Richard respond very quickly.
Let's not rehash Dr. Ford's testimony. I do believe that she was very credible, but we don't have to rehash that. I mean, Brett Kavanaugh's already on the Supreme Court. No, but Brett Kavanaugh's already on the Supreme Court, and the damage has already been done. But if you listen to what Senator Lisa Murkowski said in her speech, she said it very carefully. She said Brett Kavanaugh's tone alone and his injection of politics into the Supreme Court made him unqualified for that seat. But that's neither here nor there.
He was
now the American people will have a chance to decide in 30 days, and we will see what they do.
So, Richard, you want him to act like a judge when you guys accused him. Excuse me, let me finish.
To Lawrence. Let Lawrence finish.
They wanted him to act like a judge while he was being accused of a crime of sexual assault, all these uncorroborated charges against him, and they said, act like a judge? Are you kidding me? He was acting like an alleged defendant, and that's why he was defending himself.
It was a real test of patience.
Clarence Thomas did it, but he didn't inject politics, and that's the point I'm trying to make.
We'll have to leave it there, guys. Richard and Lawrence, spirited debate. As always, thank you very much.